Hello, this is Thomas, K4SWL. If you're new here, I like to do real-time, real-life amateur radio field activation videos. And today I'm at a new-to-me park. This is Clemens Educational State Forest, sort of to the southeast of Raleigh, where I'm staying here for roughly a week. And I'm excited. I love educational state forests, and I've never been to this one before, so this is absolutely brilliant. My wife and daughter are here right now. They're going to be like walking around the park and doing things and probably joining me a little bit later. And knowing them, they'll stay off camera, of course. But I'm going to hopefully fit in maybe 45 minutes on the air time with a fairly quick setup. Set up right here. I just decided to go to this picnic table right here. And yeah, if this is your first time here, these are unedited field activation videos, so I really don't edit anything hardly. So look in the timeline, hover your little pointer in the timeline here on YouTube, and you'll see chapters that I put in there to help you scoot around in the video. And if this isn't your cup of tea, if you want something that's nicely edited, there are much better ham YouTubers out there. I don't really consider myself a YouTuber so much because of this very thing. I just don't put a lot of time into the video production part. I try to keep it as real as possible to what everything's like here, and I don't really edit anything. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, let's hop in here real quick, and I'm going to tell you what I'm up to today. First of all, I'm going to plan to use my MC750 vertical antenna. Probably set it up like right there. I don't think it'd be a problem at all putting a wire in a tree, but I wanted to get out the MC750. This is my Red Ox Gator Bag, which I am using this trip to. This is just like the best sort of overall utility pack from Red Ox, I think, for doing field radio kits and things like that. I like this one, and I like their Micromanager, both of them. This one's just kind of a slightly different shape than the Micromanager. The Micromanager works really well too. But I stuffed a bunch of stuff in here, and I'm really looking forward to checking it out. So let me show you that. First of all, I have a few new pouches. And these pouches are from Shadow Circuits, which is a fellow who's a ham radio operator. I'll have more information available in the description below with links to all this stuff. But my buddy Rob, who runs Spooltena, back at the end of July, showed me this very pack right here. And we were like having dinner and a beer sort of thing here. And he pulled it out and he said, I just want to show you this, because his Spooltena will fit perfectly in here. But I just like the design. It's super, super simple. Just a nice basic pouch, but just really good quality. And so the first thing I did when Rob, whoops, I'm about to throw my sunglasses off the table here. First thing I did when Rob showed this to me was, of course, I opened it up and I flipped the entire thing inside out. And you can see that the stitching in here is excellent. It's double stitched nicely. This is a really nice Cordura fabric. It's really nice. And I feel like the prices are very affordable for something that's handmade by another fellow amateur radio operator. So I got several pouches. I ordered 3 or 4 of these, and he ended up sending me like 1 or 2 extra. I think 2 extra in the bag. He had actually reached out to me to evaluate his stuff. At the same time, I was placing an order. And so I said, no, I'm just going to buy this. You don't have to send me anything. I'll just buy it. I want to support you. And then the package came, and he said, I noticed that you could use a couple extra sizes, and he just wanted me to check them out. So he sent a couple extra ones. But I bought this one, and do I have another one in here? Yes. And I think he sent me this one, which is kind of one of the larger ones. I also bought his antenna pouch and something else. Or maybe I think I bought this one. I bought this one, and I bought his antenna pouch. And then he sent 2 smaller ones of his pouches. But anyway, I like keeping these things separate. I'm on a trip. I'm carrying a bunch of radios with me this time because I'm planning to do some roves and things. And so keeping separate kits for different components and keeping everything modular is really kind of the key to this thing when I'm throwing things in my Gator bags today. So anyway, the one thing that I'll be using today that I have never used before in the field, this is Bug Out Month. And if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, this is the month where I'm trying to use a bug, like a bug keyer, so like a semi-automatic bug in the field. However, I've already produced one video where I'm using my Vibraplex Deluxe bug, but as I mentioned in that video, I probably won't do too many videos actually using a mechanical bug because I have this bug emulator, which is a really unique device. The fellow who makes these, WB9CYY, does not make too many of these at a time. He does little small production runs because these are for bug enthusiasts so that they can go to the field, they can get the same feeling and action of a bug using regular paddles, like say pull out this base, my Bomatech TP3 paddles. So you can plug this in and it gives you the same response you would get with a bug. And I mean, they spend a lot of time making sure that it is accurate. Because taking a bug to the field can be really complicated, mainly because you need a level surface. And you can't tell, but this table is a really good example. It's leaning this way. And the bugs, mechanical bugs, work on a pendulum. And that pendulum you have tuned up for a flat surface. And like the very first time I took my bug to the field, my Vibraplex bug, it didn't quite act the same way it did in the shack because it was not on a level surface. So anyway, let's see here. So the bug emulator. And I'm also going to be using my Pentec TR-45L Skinny, which is just one of my favorite radios in the world. And what else? Let me grab all the rest of my gear out of here real quick. Here we go. And is there anything else in here? What's in this? This is one of the smaller packs, yes. This is one of my smaller packs, and I put the battery in here. I think this is one he sent me. Like, look at this. If you put this inside, I haven't done this yet with this, but look how well he's done this. He's actually like gone to the trouble of doing double stitching with this binding inside. I mean, it's really, really well made. This will last you forever. He has proper YYK zippers on this too. They're not cheap zippers. So these are the real deal. I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed, and I hope he starts making even more stuff. I'd love to do that. It pairs really well with my Red Ox gear. And keeps to my belief that with packs, I try to stick with really small manufacturers. Instead of the big ones. I buy big ones too. I have Ospreys. I've had Ospreys. I've had Mystery Ranch and other things in the past, but I really like these. So let's get started by setting up the Chelegans MC750 because I need to get on the air. Now, since I'm using a bug emulator, I'm not going to have perfect keying. This is a bug, and I am I'm a very, very, very novice bug operator, which is the reason why I am doing it this way, right? So let's just throw this out there somewhere. There we go. And it's because I feel like when you get on the air, that's when you're really making improvements with your operating. And so that's why I'm doing this. Here we go. Let's get this set up. Nothing's ever the right size to hold my cameras. So far, every time I've been taking the cameras to the field lately, I just spend a lot of time dropping it. Here we go right now. And let's set this up. I'll go ahead and put and get most of this set up here. I love how quick this particular antenna is to deploy. I'm just going to set this up like right over here. There we go. Okay, and let's go ahead and put the ground wires out. Wow, I love this park. This is really nice. It's pretty busy here today too. I think lots of locals know about this park, and that's a good thing. Parks need to be used. So it has 4 counterpoises, and they all plug in these little banana clip or banana plug things into the base of the antenna, as you can see here. Another, I think they're 11 feet long each. You don't have to like go crazy over making them even or anything like that. At the end of the day, you just want to try to keep it in this like X shape, pretty much. And we have this. Now I'm going to leave this little winder over here next to the antenna, I think, just because I can. And put it out this way. Now another thing you'll notice here is my choke is actually at the antenna side. If I were using an end-fed half wave, I would put the choke near the radio, but in this case, since it's a vertical, I really want the choke to be here at the antenna. Now I won't be operating QRO or anything, of course. I'm going to be operating QRP today, like I always do, 5 watts. And now let's set up this antenna. You will not be able to see this easily, but if you've never used the MC750, there is silk screening on the antenna, which tells you this is 24 megahertz here, tells you how high to lift the antenna. And this is 18 megahertz. We want to go to 14 megahertz. 7 megahertz. I think 14 is right here, yes. And you may think, well, why is 7 above that? It's because 7 assumes you're putting a coil at the base. This is at 14 megahertz. And what we have here is a 20 meter quarter wave antenna. So in this base unit right here, there's no coil or anything in there. This is just a base unit to hold the vertical with the ground wires. That's all it is. I'm gonna pull this out here. So it's a quarter wave, 20 meter vertical. While I'm thinking about it, I'll take a photo of this because I never think about doing this. I don't even know if anybody can see it in here. It's kind of stealthy in a way. Now let's get everything set up and hop on the air. My daughter's got a book over here. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. First of all, man, I wish you could feel the weather today. It is stunning. It is absolutely stunning today. I'll open this up and put most of my stuff back in here. Here we go. Oh, I love you, TR-45L. This is just an awesome radio. I wish old WA3RNC was still making these. I really do. Let's see. But unfortunately, he retired. You know, I can't blame the guy. This was kind of like a near retirement project he started on, and I don't even think he realized how popular it would be. Yeah, so he hung it up. Still with a lot of customers wanting these radios. I'm super pleased I have one. If you have one, don't sell it. If you do see one for sale though, grab it. Okay, let's see here. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, put in the key. So this will go. Actually, what I'll do is this. key in right here. Because this is for a single, what I'm doing is, since I'm using a keyer, I really want, I think these are the right sides. We'll find out as soon as I get this going. Here we go. Okay, let's turn this guy on. Okay, let me turn the power down all the way. Oh, gotta turn this on. Okay, obviously that's not correct. Oh, do I not have the... What am I doing wrong here? Let's see. Oh, I know what it is. I didn't have the side tone up. Yay. So, as you can hear, likely, okay, you know what, I am switching these around. I just don't like the... I want my key to be on the more flexible, thinner cable, like this, and then this one can be on the kind of harder cable. There we go. There we go. Sorry, I like to set things up so that they're convenient. There we go. So I'm forming. See, when I press this, it's doing just like a straight key, like that. But this side gives me dits, like a bug would. So I'm going to be working on my bug fist today. It is not going to be pretty, but I don't care. By the way, look at that SW. Well, look at that SWR. It's really good. Let's look at my forward power. Oh, whoops. Let's tune straight up the band. Boy, I was a little off. Don't tell anybody. I was a bit off of the band plan there. Let's see. We're going to run 5 watts. You hear how I'm struggling there a little bit. Now, I'm running this a little faster on the dits than I feel comfortable doing, and that's because that's what my real Vibraplex bug is like back home. So, here we go. This is so wild. Did he get you in the logs there, buddy? These two, it's not an activation if you don't get them in there. Holy cow. This is so much fun. I'm very uncomfortable with it. Okay. Maybe it was WD. Yeah, I know I didn't form that properly. He's in Indiana. God, I think yours even louder than that. Boy, it's windy. Ah. I'm loving this. Okay, that wasn't who I thought it was, but... Oh, there, okay. I'm doing better keying when I'm using these two fingers, which is what I use with my Vibraplex bug, as opposed to my middle finger, which I'm used to using. I was talking. Good to get you in here, buddy. This is not easy for me to key. This keyer lets you make the same mistakes you would make with a mechanical bug, which is the genius behind the firmware that's in this thing, or the programming in the chip. This is just so much fun. I just can't even describe. I love this radio. This keyer makes this so cool. Even though I'm not a great keyer, bug keyer yet. You'll hear that I'm also slapping this key around, and a part of that is just like mechanical. Sorry, I missed your state. I was talking. My fists will get better with practice. Okay. Is that MA? So many Massachusetts today. Nice, Arkansas. Okay, now I'm going to move up the band here, and this means I have to change the, now I'm expecting to do a lot of CQ calling here. I doubt 17 meters is going to have the activity of 20 meters. You notice how spot on that SWR was? This thing is so dang accurate. It's one of the reasons why coil antennas, where you have like a little base coil, that I don't use those as much, because this is just always so spot on. And that's 18 megahertz right there. It's always just kind of spot on. And so I don't have to fiddle with a coil. I find that the, that said, I have to say that that super expensive res antenna was pretty easy to tune, and this pretty inexpensive radioddity antenna that I tested a couple of months ago, it's pretty darn good too at doing this. So let's see here. Full, I mean, look at that. Almost a perfect SWR. You know, I just sit up right here actually. Here we go. Now we're going to be on 17 meters. If I get anybody on here, I'll be happy. Okay, so this is not 17 meters seated. We'll give us a go for maybe 5-10 minutes, and then I'm going to call it quits here, and we'll move on. I have to do good enough code that the RBN will find me. I may even move up the speed just slightly more. Maybe my keys like that. Of course. Mosquitoes. This is moving around a bit because I'm slapping it so hard, and also this wooden surface, of course, isn't perfectly level. Oh, there we go. I worked you before, didn't I? Was it this one or was it a different? Yeah, I think I did. Yay, okay. Okay, good. Let me take a few photos here. I am going to finish this up right now, and the reason why is I'm with my wife and daughter, and they have an agenda today too, and I want to make sure that they are allowing me to carve out part of the day to do this. I want to make sure I'm making sure that they get to do what they want to do as well, and we've got a little bit of running around to do here today. Man, I love this. This is just so fun. This, I mean, I've got to tell you, I love this. This is great because I'm working on my bug fist, and otherwise, It's more of a shack thing. Like, yeah, you can take your mechanical bug to the field, but you, like I said, you can't tell, but this whole table slopes that way. And the first time I used my mechanical bug on the Blue Ridge Parkway, there was less of a slope, and I still found that the pendulum action was a little weird. I was able to do the activation, but it was a little weird. And it's kind of finicky to travel with a bug, like a full mechanical bug with the pendulum and everything. So far when I've done that, actually one time the main pin that holds it all together came off, and I had to reset everything. It's just, they're a little more problematic to travel with. It doesn't mean you can't do it, but, it's just a little more problematic, and they're big and heavy. This makes it accessible, and it keeps your bug fist. Now, the one thing I did notice is, when I was using this, I did a better job if I was slapping the key around like I did with my Vibraplex bug. Right? So the Vibraplex bug, I'm hitting it, I'm giving it a fairly good slap, and I'm using my index finger and my thumb. When I'm using a regular paddle like this, I tend to use my middle finger and my thumb when I'm using like iambic keying. And I think oh good, I'm not. I turned this off. It's like I'm not transmitting, am I? I'm using iambic like this, and this is something that I think Piero Bigali told me like way back in the day, was use your middle finger. It's a little more ergonomic, and I've been doing that ever since, I think. But there is like a mental shift, a muscle memory shift when I'm going from iambic keying, when I squeeze key. So when I don't do it each and every time I've got the opportunity to squeeze, but I do it probably 90% of the time when I'm operating. If you watch me, I tend to squeeze like C's, L's, F's, anything where it's got a combination of a dit and a da, or dash, dit, dash, or whatever. I tend to squeeze the key to do that. It's just muscle memory, frankly. I don't think about it, I just do it, right? So with this muscle memory, I'm having to remember to form my dashes. And the dits on this emulator is so good, it'll allow you to make the same mistakes that you would make on a regular Vibraplex or any kind of semi-automatic mechanical keyer. It'll allow you to make those same problems with improperly formed dits and everything. Like, it's really good at that. It's not sending something uniform. I think you could make one of these emulators very easily if you just sent dits. It's just like half of a regular electronic keyer, but they didn't do that. They really wanted it to emulate, and they spent a lot of time doing that, making sure that the emulator was as accurate as it could be for the mechanical key, which is great. Anyway, I need to start packing up here and stop talking, so that we can hop on the road and get things done. I've got the key, goes in. Whoops, let me pull out the little case for this. Here we go. Well, I probably won't do it that way, actually. Well, let's see. Let's put this in here. I brought some spare batteries. This takes these CR2032 batteries. It takes 3 of them. I've got 3 in here. I've got a 1, so I bought 2 packs of 2, or 3 packs of 2. That's right. And that works. Man, this was just so much fun. The weather is idyllic for being out here. It is just so pleasant out here. It's dry. There's a nice cool wind. It's just idyllic. Okay, here we go. I take a picture of my logs. I need to do this in a better spot. Let's see here. I always do this because I put these in the field report on QRPer.com. Always check in the description below for a link to my full field report. Plus, I want to count how many of these guys I got today. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 27 contacts. That is really not bad. How long did I spend on the air? With a total time of like 25 minutes on the air. That's really good, including that big break to go on 17 meters. I'm sure 20 meters will lit back up again, but I just wanted to move to a different band, frankly. And I've got to be honest, when I move to a less active band and then I need to call QRT because I'm out of time, I feel a little less guilty because, no one's calling me. It's a lot easier. I hate leaving a pile up. Oh, whoops. I didn't do that properly. Let's pull this off and do that again. There we go. Got a little too anxious. I do love this radio. Thomas, on your bingo card, and I do have a bingo card, one of my readers from Finland made an interactive K4SWL bingo card with like everything evidently I say all the time and didn't realize it. I'm sure that is one of them. I love this radio. I probably say it all the time. Because frankly, the radios I keep, and I have a lot of them, but the radios I keep are the ones I love. I ditch the ones I just don't have an affinity for. You know, I just ditch those. It doesn't mean they're not good radios. They're just ones I don't personally care much for. Radios are a personal thing, but I'll tell you this. If you get a TR-45L, like I said, hang on to it. What did I put in here? I think I put a different antenna. Yeah, I put my 40 meter infed half wave in this other Shadow Circuits pack. So I'll have links to all this stuff, of course, in the description below and on QRT.com. But keeping these like this makes it so much easier for them to pack away. It really does. Makes it a lot easier. Now let's do it this way. That one's a little wide. I stuck it in there. Now let's grab. I need to put this up. And it fits in a little pouch here, like that. And then I just put this on top of it. This goes in here. This goes in here, and the antenna never went in here. I mean, obviously, the MC750 will not fit in here. Now, typically what I'll do is leave something out, but I didn't this time, before I latch everything up. If you buy a Red Ox bag of any of their bags, it'll last you the rest of your life. Yes, they're pricey, but man, they're built tough. And they have a lifetime guarantee. And I'm not paid to say that by Red Ox. I love them. I love this company so much. And I'm guaranteeing you that those Shadow Circuits bags will do the same thing. Those pouches are really cool. And from what he's told me, he's planning to come out with some more stuff too, which is really cool. Let's go ahead and take down the counterpoises first, or the radials here. We're going to put those up. This is great. My wife and daughter will come back and realize that I actually finished before they came back, and that'll make them happy. We're having a good time hanging here in Raleigh, spending time with one of my daughters who's just returned from fall break. We had a really active fall break. During that time, we had a memorial service for my father-in-law who passed away in August. And so that was, one of the big things we were doing. And so we're kind of hanging around a little bit longer. One of my daughters has a much longer fall break, and so she's staying with us at our family property we have here near Raleigh that a family member lets us use, which is wonderful. And we're just hanging out together and then seeing my other daughter because she's right here local. So that works out nicely too. Here we go. Here we go. If I were in a hurry, I could do this a lot faster, but to get this done, I do have a few errands around myself this afternoon, and the afternoon is really kind of happening kind of quickly. It's almost 3 o'clock. Some of the small stores we go to, I think, close around 5, so we got a couple of hours. But everything here seems so close when you're not stuck in traffic. Traffic around here can be really, really bad. And that's one of the reasons I want to get out too, is hit the road before evening traffic or peak hours. It's like 3 hours long really here. We got stuck in horrible traffic yesterday coming here. Like a part of the road that should have taken us 20 minutes took us about an hour and 15 minutes. And those of you who live in places like Washington, D.C., London, really big metropolitan areas known for their bad traffic. Maybe New York City, LA. You're like saying, oh, Thomas, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't have bad traffic there. It's nothing compared to what we have. But I don't think anyone ever said, you know, I really enjoy that time just sitting in the car and stop and go traffic. I'm not used to having that, you know, where I live. In the mountains of North Carolina, we just don't have a lot of that stuff. And see, let's just go ahead and grab these components over here. And bring that. And first thing I'll do when I take this off is, my buddy Bob told me a long time ago, keep a cloth in your MC750 bag, and he was absolutely right about that. Here we go. Put this over here. This goes in. This goes in. There's an adapter that came out. My buddy Eric, bless his heart, he pulled out one of the strings from one of my bags here so it doesn't close all the way. Thanks for that, Eric. I appreciate it, man. I'm just picking on you. Okay. He's a good guy, and it was his first time using this antenna, so he didn't know any better. Look at this. Isn't this awesome? This is a great park, man. I'll tell you what, if you live in the Raleigh area, you need to be coming out here to Clemens. This is a really nice park. Look at all the trees. I mean, there's like a million trees that you could put antennas in around here. Lots of paths, a lake. It really kind of has everything you'd want in one park. And even though there are a fair amount of cars parked out here, it doesn't feel busy today. It's really, really nice. And they've got this picnic shelter. I bet you can reserve these, but check this out. This is really something. Or maybe this is an observation area. That's probably what this is. It's more of an observation area. It's just beautiful here. Wow, this is one for the books. I'm coming back here this week, I'm pretty sure. Love it. I love it. We're so lucky in North Carolina to have parks like this. I'd love to know if you have things like educational state forests where you live. I do find these just so amazing. Just great parks. Anyway, I need to stop talking about all this. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being a kind person. Thank you for being empathetic and for being present in our community with all that goodness, right? We're better off because you're here. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you. Also, thank you to my Coffee Fund and Patreon supporters. You guys make all this possible. I really appreciate it. I don't monetize my site. You'll notice that I don't have YouTube ads or anything like that. I turn all that stuff off. I don't like to have those. And so how I monetize my site is through people just paying if they feel like it's worth it. And if not, or you're not in a position, I will not judge you. I promise you this stuff will always be for free. But if you can, I appreciate it. If not, don't worry about it. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day. I hope you get to play some radio soon. Until next time, 7 twos.